This is a data-oriented technology stack for a Unity project with over 16,000 active rigid bodies. And today we will be moving this guy. As you can see, he can move his arms, he can swing his ball chain. And this character has in total of 14 active rigid bodies. What does that mean? It means that he has rigid bodies that are in constant force to be in a set position. And as you saw, even the chain has physics. However, because this technology is new, we cannot yet make a ragdoll follow a certain animation, like my previous games. However, we can make the characters only move certain body positions, such as their arms. Now, what is dots? Dots is a way of clumping up memory in a much more efficient way, such as this example. Let's say a cook is in the kitchen and he's preparing a bunch of dishes and he's going back and forth, grabbing the ingredients, putting it on the table. In this case, what he can do is he can instead grab, let's say, a big plate of the ingredients and then take the plate in front of each table and then putting the ingredients one by one. This is sort of how dots works. In this example, we're going to see a non-dots way of programming and using active rigid bodies with a very simple character controller in which the character can only go in directions without even rotating. Here we have 140 active rigid bodies. Here we have 6,000 active rigid bodies. The FPS has dropped to around 30 already. Now we have around 10,000 active rigid bodies and the FPS has dropped to around 7. Now we have 16,000 active rigid bodies and the FPS has dropped to 2. And remember that this is a non-dots way of programming, so it's what we call object-oriented. And here we have the dots way of programming. And you see that the FPS will be constant. It won't change much. And we're going to keep increasing this, and you see the FPS is still really fine. And now we're going to have around 16,000 active rigid bodies, and look, the FPS is around 60, while the other one was 2. And you can make awesome things with this technology, such as a physics simulation, let's say for a demolition company, or a game with hundreds of ragdolls, such as in this case. Let's say I can keep spinning my character and rotating his chain ball and smashing up enemies. That's also possible. Anything you want. And now, why isn't this technology being used so much? Well, this technology is somewhat new, and it's also super complicated and very difficult to use. However, in the future it's going to be easier and easier, I believe.